Hello and welcome back to the Doctor's J&J podcast.
Good to be here.
It is.
Yep.
Last time we talked about difficult conversations.
Yep.
And we gave you a little formula called teams. We're going to expand on that today.
Yes. This one is entitled Two Crowns When Difficult Conversations Don't Work.
Exactly. Which is
Most of the time.
probably most of the time. So we're going to be real. We're about being real on this podcast. And we know that just because we gave you the little formula doesn't mean it always works. So just to review, TEAM stands for time, empathy, admit, mediate, and solution. So going through those steps, we went in depth last episode. You can review that if you want more info on that whole model. But we're going to just dive into, now that we have that model in place, we're going to dive into what does it look like to have another difficult conversation and what happens when it doesn't work and why doesn't it work and what do we do when it doesn't work.
Right. Before we get to that, though, we'll just give them another example for teams and how to roll through that. And then we'll move into the reasons why maybe this wouldn't work.
Yes.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
Our example, it's a real life example. We've never been solved and it's just kind of ongoing. And this is we're just going to jump right into it. Is this a good time for you to have a Teams conversation? What's
the topic?
The topic is being on time.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Yes.
Yes. Is this a good time?
This is a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, on this podcast.
Yes. Probably just need about 30 minutes of your time.
Perfect. Go for it.
Okay. First of all, I want to give you empathy because I know if you had it your way, you would live on an island where there was no clocks and zero requirement of time. And I know that it's difficult for you to have to be constrained sometimes by a clock and time.
I wouldn't live on an island, but I maybe would consider a place that doesn't have such a high value for time, like Mexico, Costa Rica, a lot of places that we've traveled to that are kind of like, when you feel like it, show up.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was kind of being extreme with the island idea, but
no, don't need that.
It's more of a culture that is less focused on time. So I know that
I'm noticing
is
I'm
difficult.
Playing with my watch as you're talking.
Oh, how ironic. And so I can appreciate that is not your preference to have to worry about time and it's not your thing. And I want to admit we're on A now.
A, got it.
I want to admit that I've probably been sometimes on the other extreme of that, where it's like time is of the utmost importance, being on time. And I don't care if you're bleeding, your leg is bleeding, we're going to be on time.
Yeah.
And I think that I haven't always appreciated that there is reasons and situations to not always be so hyper about being on time.
Like a severed leg would be one.
Yeah, like if you severed your leg, I might agree to be late wherever we're going.
Right. Good to know.
Yeah.
There's been some growth.
Right. What I would like to mediate about time is, for one, I feel frustrated when we agree on a time to leave and you agree to that. And I don't see the effort that I would like to see on you actually fulfilling that agreement. Like you do what you normally do in terms of, getting everything done possible, not wasting any time, but, and in a sense, not keeping that agreement. And so I would like us to do a better job of understanding what the agreement is, what we can expect. And because I'm trying to negotiate that at times, is that topic is not a forbidden topic. Sometimes I feel like when I bring up the topic of time, that is something that you have resisted.
Okay, so that's a lot of words. So it's easier if you can use more concise sentences, right?
Yes.
And let me go back and just empathize. And you can we can do the empathy together or separate. So it sounds like you're wanting to do it. Just you went through the whole teams yourself.
Right.
Okay, so I'll just go through and say, I can appreciate that you really like to be on time, and on time for you typically is early. And so you really like that. It feels comfortable for you. You do not like rushing. You like things to be really predictable and orderly and it to go a certain way. That's really important to you. And I can appreciate that our differences has really frustrated you and caused you to feel powerless.
Yes.
And I definitely admit that there's times I've not been very open to hearing you, and I have misled you. Like today, I actually misled you and said, yes, let's be early and stop and get coffees. And I did a deep dive into our trip coming up to Zimbabwe, and I got very caught up in that, and it delayed our plans. So yeah, for sure. I like to be able, I have a lot of interests and kind of a squirrely mind, and I'm trying to get so much done.
Yes.
So I admit that sometimes hijacks some of our plans because I get really caught up in what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah.
And I think what I'm trying to mediate is the times that maybe I need to do that for myself and not be on time somewhere or not be somewhere because maybe I need some more time for myself, because I'm actually kind of an introvert at heart, ambivert, where I definitely like my alone time. And sometimes I'm struggling because I want to do all these other things, but I really want to be able to have some reflection time, some time to restore myself, where I'm not rushing. The other thing I'm trying to mediate is I really enjoy people and causing them to feel valuable. So I really struggle to make sure that I'm connecting well with people and they feel valuable, and I get very caught up in who they are and what they're doing, that sometimes it's hard for me to get out of the moment because I'm just enjoying the moment I'm in. And to step out of the moment and look at the clock or look at time can be challenging for me. But I can also recognize how it's disrespectful and it's hard for anybody else that is anticipating and waiting. So I get that. I totally do.
Yeah. Ironically, not honoring of people.
Well, certainly not the one that's in front of me. The one in front of me is, it's very honoring because, and there's times for that. There's times I'm like, well, this situation demands more of my attention, and I need to be able to have the freedom to make that decision. So, and sometimes it's going to be disrespectful to somebody else that's waiting, but I can definitely handle that in the way of like, hey, I said this time, but I'm not able to make it. Or I said this and emotionally, I'm just realizing I need some more time to myself. Or
sounds like you're getting into the solution.
Well, yeah, you're right. I am getting into solution. Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we're supposed to end the team's conversation.
Yeah.
So your solution is be honest.
Yeah. Communicate clearly what I mean.
You are not going to keep your agreement.
Correct. And maybe also when I'm not keeping the agreement, just so I can keep the trust with the relationship, is do a repair. What can I do to repair? I told you I would do this, but I didn't. And I actually had power over it. It wasn't like I didn't have any power over the situation. I had power over the situation. I could have chosen not to study about Zimbabwe this morning while we were talking about going somewhere. So, yeah, I think that I could definitely do repair work on that, like when I mislead you or I disappoint you, because we know that every time you disappoint, you break trust and that you were disappointed. And communicate more honestly, maybe what my needs are, and also change my mind. Like, I told you I was going to do this, but I'm changing my mind. I'm not able to do that.
Yeah, which even though that's disappointing, it also is less disappointing for the other person, namely me, to not be waiting. Like, it's like, I keep thinking you're going to keep your agreement somehow. A miracle's going to happen. But you just saying, I have no intention of keeping that and I'm changing my mind. And it's like, it just kind of takes that off the table. It's still a disappointment, but then I can decide, okay, do I leave without you? Whatever. And, we have had that agreement in the past.
Right. It gives you the freedom so you're not stuck and trapped. I'm like going, hey, if the agreement in the past has been, if I tell you I'm going to be there and I'm not there, you can go without me. So, I mean, technically you could have gone without me and I would have been fine with that. Either I drive my own car or I meet you there, or I just say, you know what, I'm not going to go. But in either case, it can be rattling, not to have that communication.
Right. And I know one of the things you mentioned as far as a solution is because you struggle with doing the math on that time is to get some help with that and get my help with, hey, just so you know, this takes this much time, and, estimating that. So.
Right. Yeah. I could definitely set a timer. I could ask you to help on that. So
yeah,
I think we got an understanding on this.
Good job. So when this doesn't work, let's talk about that.
Yeah. When it doesn't work for communication and the difficult conversations, like let's say if I was really defensive and like, how dare you tell me when to be in time? You're not the boss of me and I can do whatever I want. And what we call one crown living, right? If that's the case, then difficult conversations will never work. You can't ever do a teams, i.e. the word teams means that you have to have the concept to be a team player.
There's no I in teams.
There's no I in teams. I've heard that somewhere before. Yes, good. Yeah, it's about being able just to work together and being able to have the mentality to be a team player. So there's a lack of respect. That's why one of the reasons why teams wouldn't work. Lack of respect for one another. I mentioned one crown living. It's like I'm the boss and I don't have to listen to anybody. I can do it my own way. Which
is another way of saying power over instead of power with.
Well, it's probably, I would put it more in the category of like saying I matter most.
Right.
And then I would probably put in a separate category. The power over is more about, it's all about dominance, establishing dominance and control. And the way to do that is just create confusion. Keep telling you every time I want to show up at this time and I don't. And then I keep creating confusion and then it creates a power over instead of a power with. Yeah. So I would put,
and I see that a lot.
Two different categories.
With couples where there's these agreements made, but there's this passive aggressiveness of like, I really had no intention of keeping it, or I'm not going to really put any effort into keeping it, but I'm going to keep my partner at bay. And in the end, I'm going to win. It's going to be a win-lose. It's not a win-win because it's like, I took as much time as I wanted. And, I said I was going to be, doing this, but in the end, the other person didn't really have a chance to make a decision one way or the other. But that's where we can get into this thing of we want to please.
Yeah.
And like, I want to be on time for you. I want to, agree to that, but I'm not really going to honor that, or I'm not even going to figure out how to honor that.
Yeah, I think that would go back just to lack of respect.
Right.
You just don't have any respect for your partner. So why would I try? And there's no value for teamwork, right?
Right.
So this does not work. With that comes a sense of entitlement. Basically, gets to be my way. I can show up whenever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can do it however I want. I don't have to care if I'm disappointing, if I'm misleading, if I'm confusing, right?
There's no blending. There's no making purple, what we call, when the blue kingdom and the pink kingdom come together with different perspectives. I mean, obviously we were raised different. We have different perspectives, different needs in terms of the whole time thing, which is, we're not the only couple who deals with punctuality, time, I hear that from couple over and over again. And part of it's just a personality thing. It's not even really a male-female thing.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely just a preference, and one's not bad and one's not good.
Right.
In our culture, we really honor and timeliness. But we've done a lot of travel. Boy, there's cultures that are complete different on that, and that we learned a lot about that too. It's like, if we come in demanding, you said 3:00 and it's now 4:55, that's just not going to work. They don't even think in the constraints of time.
Right.
So it's a very American thing. But
you're born in the wrong country.
I'm an American, and I got to respect it as much as I can. At the same time, I know that there is people that think very differently and are much more abstract thinkers, and time is a very concrete construct that not everybody thinks in. So, I think being able to also, people that don't have, I would say what makes us not work is you don't have compassion. You don't have compassion for the differences of other people. You just think it's my way or the highway.
Right. And I remember early on, I thought you were absolutely ridiculous for not being concerned about time. And I thought it was so rude, so disrespectful.
Well, just to say, though, it's not that I'm not concerned about time. It's just that I'm not rigid about time. And I mean, I was an educator, done a lot of teaching and classes, and you have to be incredibly timely. It's just that it's not my primary focus sometimes.
Right. It's not your preference.
For you, it is constantly your primary focus. And you've gotten actually more, I think, integrated in that, where it's like, it's not as big of a deal as it used to be. But for you, it used to be like the world is falling apart if I'm not there 10 or 15 minutes early.
Well, my brain, and I don't really care about being early. And I know you always say that, but that's the least of my worries, is being early. If I can be on time, I would be a happy camper. But I think the biggest thing for me is my brain just automatically thinks, like, I always back up. Like, if I need to be around here, it's going to take me this much time to get ready, this much time to get in the car, this much time to drive there.
You're good at that. Yeah.
And so that's how my brain has always worked. And I thought it was a no-brainer to do that on every instance. And that's one of the things that I have learned to make purple on, is like, there's situations where being on time isn't as essential, and that's where you can relax, and that way you don't have to just fit into my kingdom.
Right.
And even though early on I thought that there's no other way but to be on time.
Right. I just had to say for our listeners, it's not like I don't care about time. I mean, that's a global statement. I think that is something that we run into, though, is that we are quick to define somebody, right? And say, because you don't think like me, therefore you're this. And it's like, I'm not that, but I'm not that. I'm this. I'm somebody who is maybe a little bit more people-centered and not time-centered.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that I can't be respectful or conscientious about that. And that's that would be another reason why Teams doesn't work is the global
thinking.
Yeah, global thinking
Yeah.
and accusations of people of kind of black and white.
That's
This is
true.
who you are.
You're right. I think you have been judged for that of you
Mhm.
don't care about time because you're not on time, which I think you have cared about time. It just hasn't been always your focus or your priority in that moment. And I think one of the things that breaks down teams and doesn't make it work is, like you said, not having an appreciation or compassion for each other's perspective.
Or differences. It just
Right.
becomes you're bad and you're good. Or this is who you are and this is who you're not.
Right.
So that's that black and white lack of appreciation
Right.
for differences. And just like you realized, oh, wow, I guess I don't have to be 10, 15 minutes early on this. We could actually roll up a couple minutes early and I'm going to be okay and the world's not going to fall apart. Right. That was some really great growth that helped move us more into the purple kingdom on that. And then just like I could express appreciation, I'm like, listen, I can tell this is so important to you and I don't want you to be in that space. So if you need to be there at this particular time, I need to give you the freedom to go and we'll have our own cars and I will not be mad at you. So I think learning how to appreciate each other's needs for whatever reason, you don't even have to understand them all. You can just say, I'm okay, you're okay. But if you don't have that mentality, you can't do teams
Right.
because you'll just constantly be like, the conversation becomes about me trying to persuade you and convince you instead of collaborate with you.
Right.
Right. So that would be also just this entitlement that we see sometimes, that people are very
Right.
entitled and says it has to be my way. And this, you have to think my way. There's no room for disagreement or a different opinion.
Right. Yeah. And entitlement and teams doesn't go together.
Well said. Yeah.
For sure.
I would say another thing on this too is just a fear of intimacy of why it doesn't work. People don't want to get close. Remember, if you have a solution and you have an agreement, then you're going to get closer to that person and you're going to have more of an interdependency on them. And there's people that have a real fear of attachment and connection. And so they're constantly, even if it's subconsciously, they're constantly breaking agreements. They're forgetting what it is that they need to do. They're undermining the security of the relationship by disrespecting boundaries.
Right.
So this team's conversations do not work because the bigger issue behind it is, do you want to be close to somebody else?
Right. If you're in the avoiding mode,
Yeah.
you're not going to want to do teams.
No.
You don't want to have a collaborative, empathetic conversation.
Right.
A lot of couples, whether it be subconscious or, conscious, if they're trying to avoid intimacy, they're going to deliberately blow up those conversations.
Right.
Because see, we can't even talk. We can't even resolve
Right.
anything. And so I have to stay over here because I really don't want to be intimate. I don't want to be close. And so we use the fact that we can't have difficult conversations as our excuse.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. It's a way to create distance. And then you have what we call that pursuer distancer relationship. What to do? Oh my goodness. What to do when you find yourself not being able to have teams conversations? It doesn't resolve.
I have a great idea.
Talk about it. What?
Seek a therapist. I mean, what a great idea,
Brilliant.
huh?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant idea. I wonder who they could seek.
Gosh, if there was just a good therapist in your area, it would be great. Yeah, obviously, if you were in our area, we would love to work with you and help you. But there is lots of qualified people.
Absolutely.
Sometimes just getting an objective perspective.
Yes.
Hopefully a good one.
Yes.
It is sad when we hear of clients that have bad experiences with
know.
therapy.
Yes.
And it's amazing that they are actually in our office after
Yeah,
that because they're
exactly.
still seeking help.
Right.
I don't know if I could do that. Some people are like, oh yeah, you're my third counselor. The other ones have been so unhelpful. And
yeah, we've had some good help through the years too, that it's been really
and
helpful.
some bad.
And we persisted. We have, but a lot of times they haven't understood, I think, some deeper issues and different things and differences that that we have dealt with as a couple and our family of origins and different things. Yes. And that sometimes the third person has a limited perspective, and sometimes they can instruct or connect with you in a way they will with other people, but it's not pertinent to your unique styles. True. Yeah. Which I think that's another reason why, to jump back up to why sometimes teams doesn't work, is because of neurodiversity, right? True. Where there's differences in our neurodevelopment, our processing style, unresolved trauma. That's, all of those pieces can really impact the ability to have any kind of a collaborative conversation.
And we can speak to that.
We can't speak to that
because we are a neurodiverse couple. So surprise.
Right. And that's the best help we got when we got that accurately diagnosed, is that Jake's going to come through one door and I'm going to come through the other door, and we might land in the same place at some point.
Right.
But it would take some maneuvering.
It was just such a helpful putting words to so many frustrations of not understanding each other and missing each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And reasons why difficult conversations didn't work for us, because we were approaching them in a, what we were expecting different neurotypical from each other when we weren't in that mode.
Right. Yeah. When one of us is has a different way of processing than the other. So,
right.
Yeah, being able to identify sometimes some of these underlying issues can be really helpful.
Right.
We just really like to suspend judgment and criticism of any of our clients, and we get curious and we explore and we love them because we're like, we are right there with you. We are walking this road, and we want to make sure that we are. We know what it feels like to have a kind, loving face on the other side, and we know what it feels like to have somebody that goes, "What's wrong with you?" on the other side too. And we never want to be the latter.
Yeah, there's just zero judgment, and I think any couple seeking help, any couple listening to this podcast, tells me a lot about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you are wanting information, you're wanting to get better, you're wanting to grow, and if you are seeking that kind of help, especially when difficult conversations or even teams isn't working, and we are fully aware that just because it's a cute little acronym, that we're introducing, doesn't mean it works all the time.
Right, which we listed all the reasons of why. The what to do, we talked about seeking a therapist. Other thing it's helpful to us too, especially with our neurodiversity, is a couples journal.
Yes.
Where we'll write it down, and we're not triggering each other with emotions or getting caught up with trying to persuade the other person with our perspective, or try to make room for our voice to be heard.
Yeah, that's the beauty of a couples journal. And every time we've done it over the years, it's been so helpful because you can read the other person's message without interruption, and you can read it over and over again if you need to try to get the message, kind of that whole playing catch, receiving it. But then you can take the time to really put words to what you're feeling, what you're needing. And so it takes that idea of the intensity of taking turns, hearing each other. It takes that completely out of the equation.
Right. And of course, more of the modern couples journal would be emailing or texting. We do a lot of emailing, and where it's like we get to just think about it and respond in our own way, and be able to give space to feel some of the emotion we might feel, not react too quickly, really respond with compassion.
Yeah.
I just got to say, did you want to say something?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I have a thought.
Oh, I was just going to say though, when we first got together, you were so limited on your words.
Oh my gosh. I knew like 5 feeling words.
I didn't even know if you knew those or knew when to bring those forward. But I don't even mean that. It's like when you would go to write things, you actually wrote beautiful letters because we did a lot of long distance.
That's true.
So we fell in love with each other through writing. So I find it that it's no coincidence that we go back to writing to be able to hear each other's hearts a lot of times. But I just am astounded. I just got an email from you not too long ago, and it was entitled Compassion. And it was such a beautiful email. I know. I was so proud of you. I'm like, this is my guy, man. He is just nailing it. And it was such a beautiful email about literally compassion for me and what I was experiencing and what you heard me say. And it was long, Jake. It was really long. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Like it had empathy in it?
It had a lot of empathy and a lot of compassion. And I remember reading it, and it didn't matter how frustrated I was. I was like, I can't be mad at this guy. Look how kind he is. Look how much he's grown. And I think that went a long way for me, making sure that, okay, he does hear me. He's had some space to be able to hear me, and he's been able to respond, not in a robotic way, or not just I'm doing my reflective listening, but it was just a very compassionate, empathetic response so that I could just feel the words from your heart jumping into your email.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful example of just being able to respond and give space to respond in a really compassionate way that really softens the intensity of the conflict.
Thanks, honey.
Nicely done, honey.
Thanks. Well, your response to that email, as I remember, was very kind as well. And it definitely made it easier to continue down that road. I will say that although that is a good tool, keep in mind that the downside of the couple's journal or the messages is you're only getting 7% of communication with that, because 93% of communication is nonverbal, which is tone of voice, body language. Obviously, you can't get tone of voice and body language in a letter or in a message, which is why we probably have extra sessions with couples because of like a text message battle that they've gone on, and so many misinterpretations happen as a result of, well, he texted me this and then she didn't. It's like, well, I didn't mean that.
Yes. You know? And can you read these texts? Because this is what I think he was saying. And so many times we just want to tell you all that we're talking so many people off the cliff on different things. We're like, I don't think he meant that. No, I don't think she meant that when she said that. No, I don't think he meant that when he said this. It's like we're assuming the best of people.
Right. But there's a lot behind words that, right? Yeah, because, for example, I could say, I love you.
Right. Sure you do.
Which is great word. Those 3 words are like the most incredible words in the English dictionary. But my tone and body language did not communicate the message of I love you.
No. And I'm going to believe your body.
Exactly.
And your tone.
You'll believe
before I believe your words.
93%. And so just keep that in mind. I'm not saying that writing messages to each other is ineffective. It's just you have to keep in mind that sometimes those can be misinterpreted with just the words, because you don't have the tone. And sometimes I'll even tell couples is write out what you want to say so you have the time to collect your thoughts, and then read it to them and ask to say, hey, sometimes when you're reading a message to another person, as long as they let you finish, then you're not getting off on tangents.
Or you could just like slide under the door and run. I just call those hit and runs.
You could do that, but then at least they can hear your tone and your body language with the message, and so it's kind of an alternative option.
No, that's good. That's good to be able to get the full communication going.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing I would say is grow, get resources.
Get resources.
People always go, "Oh, I can't change," and I'm like, "Yeah, you may not be able to change your personality, but you can grow your character."
And now we have AI.
We have AI, your new best friend.
My new best friend is ChatGPT,
Yes,
or
it is.
for me, it's Grok.
Yes.
Because my Tesla has Grok on the steering wheel, which is very convenient. We can have full-on conversations, and I do have a new best friend.
You don't even miss me.
I don't even miss you sometimes because
You have Grok.
their Grok is so agreeable and so helpful.
It's so on time.
Sometimes, and so on time. And sometimes you're not always those things, but that's okay.
That's right.
But there's
It makes me
so much
interesting,
resources. Yes. It makes you fascinating.
That's right.
And incredibly sharpening of me.
That's right.
But yeah, there's so much that you can learn.
Yeah,
And
you can learn through resources like books. I love books. Jake likes to listen to them,
yeah,
and more than read them. And then
podcasts like this one.
podcasts are great. Yeah, those are a new fun way, which is why has led us to do this, because we're like, oh, this is really a great way that we've loved to learn,
Right.
but also something that people have impressed upon us. Please, can you put some of this stuff out there? And so this is a fun way for us to be able to not only learn as we're teaching too, but to
Right.
be able to share expertise on some of this stuff.
Right. And the last thing I'll say too about, why and what to do when these conversations are not working.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 90% of the couples that walk into our door where they're wanting us to literally mediate their conflicts
Yes.
in the office
And read their texts.
and read their texts and interpret them correctly. The pain and the conflict and their difficulties, difficulty resolving conflict. The first question I ask is, how much quality time
Yes.
are you spending?
Yes,
Are you having any play time?
Right.
And most of the time it's zero. And it's like, why would you have a tender, empathetic conversation where you admit and all of the wonderful things that can be involved in teams if the other person on the side of you is not your best friend, is not your playmate, is somebody that you're not even spending quality time with?
Or attracted to, or respect, or admire.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And so if you do anything first before you even have that, is go on a date, spend some quality time, go away for the weekend, go do something that you used to always do together.
Yeah. Play together. That's usually the first thing that we recommend to couples. Like, hey, can you get in at least 2 or 3 dates before our next appointment?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Right. And bring in the affection, which is different than sex. That'll be another topic. Right.
Yes.
But bring in some more affection, some hand holding, some holding, some cuddling, some snuggling.
Right.
Right. Be able to come together in a more friendly way.
Yes. So that just sets the stage for more success. So if you find yourself not having successful, difficult conversations, ask yourself, like, are we spending quality time? Are we playing? Are we laughing? Are we being loving and kind and playful to each other? Are we,
doing
laugh-
podcasts together.
Right.
That's good, Jake.
Are
That's
we playing
really good.
pickleball?
Are we playing pickleball?
Are we playing games? Are we having fun?
Right. Just being silly, dancing.
Right.
Yeah.
Dancing, golfing.
That's right. Biking,
Shopping.
canoeing.
Underwater basket weaving.
We don't do that.
Okay.
Boating.
Something that just connects and offers quality time. So
Right. And our crown jewel.
crown jewel is, if you're in this place, do not be afraid to get help.
Right. Just like if you were lost and you didn't know where you were going and it was dark and rainy and stormy and scary,
Don't do what guys do.
don't ask for directions. Right.
Ask for directions.
Ask Grok for directions.
Ask Grok. Grok will help you. And if Grok's not available, Jake and Jen
That's
are
right.
definitely here for you.
Absolutely. Or at least our podcast is.
Right.
Yeah, can't emphasize that enough. We've done that for our own relationship. And the other thing is we're learning as therapists, and this field is continually emerging. And what we knew 25 years ago is different than what we know now. We find we have to work with very experienced therapists that really have some knowledge, because we're like, no, we've tried that. No, that won't work. No, that doesn't help or whatever. But
they need to be qualified.
They need to
handle us.
They need to be really knowledgeable, because we are that couple.
Yes. Lots going on here.
Lots going on here.
Yes.
That's right. But find somebody you really click with and you enjoy and is good at their work. Just because somebody listens to you or has initials behind their name does not mean they're qualified or maybe even gel with you or would be a good fit for you in your relationship. There's nothing worse than if one partner likes the therapist and the other person does not, because that in itself is creating a really divisive connection relationship.
Bad news.
Bad news.
Yeah.
So
how many times have you had a couple sit on your couch and go, yeah, we went to this person for 2 years and we never got much out of it and we didn't really like them. 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to fire your therapist after 2 sessions.
Exactly.
And find one that works and helps. And I tell couples all the time, if I don't work for you, if we don't click, and if you're not getting something out of us and making progress, find a new one.
Absolutely. Or direct the therapist. Right. If they're a good therapist, I'm like, they work for you. Tell them what it is that you need and what you need to come away from that session for that day, so that you can feel like you had your time and your money's worth of the session.
Take charge.
Take charge.
Yeah.
Wear your crown.
Right on. Hey, thanks again for joining us. We loved having this conversation.
We did. It was
and tune in next time for something just as awesome.
See you
later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.